greatest heists in history. Imagine billions of dollars disappearing overnight, or priceless works of art stolen, never to be recovered. Welcome to the greatest heists in history. In this video, we'll explore 5 massive heists that left their mark on history, from cash and jewels to artworks and wartime treasures. Lufthansa Heist, 1978. Early morning on December 11, 1978. At JFK Airport in New York, a heist that would go down in history was set in motion. The target, Lufthansa Airlines cargo terminal. Millions of dollars in cash flown in from Germany were stored there that morning. Valuable jewels were also kept in the same facility. Just after midnight, an armed group struck the terminal. Security personnel were overpowered, radios were disabled. The plan was executed flawlessly. The thieves opened the vaults and stole $5 million in cash and $875,000 worth of jewelry. For 1978, this was the largest cash heist in U.S. history. Adjusted for today, it would be worth roughly $25 million. But the most striking aspect of the robbery? The operation was directly linked to the New York Mafia. It even inspired the later film Goodfellas. What happened to the loot? Most of the money was never recovered. And strangely, many involved in the heist mysteriously disappeared or were killed in the following months. The Lufthansa heist went down in history not only for the stolen money, but also for the bloody aftermath. Even today, it remains one of the darkest legends of the American Mafia. Isabella Stewart Gardner, Museum Heist, 1990. On the morning of March 18, 1990, it was a quiet Sunday in Boston. But that night, one of the greatest art heists in history was unfolding. Just after midnight, 2 men dressed as police officers arrived at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. They told security they were responding to a report. Unsuspecting guards opened the doors. And at that moment, history changed. The fake officers handcuffed the staff, locked them in the basement, and roamed freely through the museum galleries. For 81 minutes, they worked against the clock to remove 13 priceless works of art. The stolen pieces included works by Rembrandt, Vermeer, Degas, and Manet. Notably, Vermeer's The Concert alone is valued at over $200 million today. The total estimated loss at the time was around $500 million. But the most intriguing part? None of the works have ever been recovered. No international police investigations, FBI operations, or decades of tips have yielded results. Today, the empty frames still hang on the museum walls, a silent testament to the world's most famous unsolved art heist. Dresden Green Vault Jewel Heist, 2019. On the morning of November 25, 2019 in Dresden, Germany, one of the most sensational jewel thefts in history took place. The target, an 18th century legendary treasure, the Green Vault, one of Europe's oldest and wealthiest royal collections. In the early hours, the thieves set fire to the electrical box, plunging the area into darkness and cut through the museum's iron gates. Security cameras were still rolling, but within minutes, it was all over. The team stole 81 pieces of jewelry, diamond-studded swords, royal brooches, and pure gold ornaments. The estimated value, around 1 billion euros. This became Europe's largest jewel heist in recorded history. What happened afterward? Months of investigation identified the Remo clan, a criminal organization tied to the theft. Some members were arrested and a few pieces were recovered. But most of the collection's most valuable treasures are still missing. The Dresden Green Vault heist reminds us, even the most advanced security systems can be helpless against a few minutes of well-planned action. Today, the empty display cases silently bear witness to one of history's cleverest jewel thefts. Iraq Central Bank Heist, 2003. Just days before the U.S. invasion of Iraq, Saddam Hussein carried out one of the largest cash operations in history. In the early morning, Saddam's son, Qusay Hussein, arrived at the Central Bank of Iraq with a single-page letter signed by his father. The document commanded that the bank immediately hand over the country's funds for the security of Iraq's treasury. Bank officials, terrified, complied without question. Refusing Saddam's order could mean death. The vaults were opened, and over several hours, 3 truckloads of cash, in US dollars, were loaded and transported out. The estimated amount, around $920 million. This became the largest single cash theft in history. The fate of the money remains a mystery. Some sources claim much of it disappeared amid the chaos of war. Others say it ended up in the hands of Saddam's loyal generals and family. The Iraq central bank transfer was more than a theft. It was one of the final and most dramatic signs of the regime's collapse. Nazi gold and art looting, 1930s to 1940s. The late 1930s, Europe entered a dark period. Under Adolf Hitler, Germany rapidly expanded its power, targeting not just territory, but priceless treasures. The Nazis seized gold, jewelry, and art from Jews and occupied states. Under Hitler's direct orders, stolen items were moved to the Reichsbank and special storage facilities. Artworks, paintings, and sculptures, thousands of pieces from Paris, Amsterdam, and Prague were confiscated. Rembrandt, Vermeer, Van Gogh, and Rubens, treasures worth billions both then and today. After the war, Allied forces recovered some of the gold and artworks, but most remain missing. Some circulate in the black market, others may still be hidden in secret vaults. This was not merely financial plunder. It was an assault on cultural heritage and human history. Even today, Nazi gold and art looting remains one of the most organized and extensive thefts in history. The greatest heists in history, cash, jewels, art. Which one was truly the biggest? Perhaps some treasures still remain shrouded in mystery. Share your thoughts in the comments. Which do you think is history's greatest heist?